大家好，我係 Sammy。1年前咧，我就同朋友去日本行山啦，路線咧就係白岳連峰嘅其中一段。上一集咧，我就由赤岳行到去根石岳，因為時間嘅關係啦，介紹唔到咧嗰一晚住嘅山屋，於是咧就留翻呢一集介紹。我仲訪問埋咧山屋嘅老闆，佢俾咗咧嚟根石岳行山嘅一啲 tips。事不宜遲，馬上去片。呢間根石岳山莊同上一集介紹嘅硫磺岳山莊咧係同一個老闆。呢度因為咧仲裝修緊啊，雖然環境咧仲有少少亂啊，但係都好乾淨，設施好齊全嘅。因為呢條片咧都係1年前拍㗎啦，今日大家再去可能已經唔同晒㗎啦。瞓覺嘅地方咧就喺2樓，同硫磺岳山莊一樣啦。呢度嘅床位咧都有拉鏈分隔，兼有床頭燈同埋叉電位嘅喎。不過地方咧就冇硫磺岳嗰邊咁闊落嘅，咁啊同埋床位嘅數目咧都係少啲嘅。硫磺岳嗰邊咧就 total 可以接待80人，但係根石岳呢邊只可以接待30人嘅啫。呢度一樣有房間嘅，呢個係1人間啦，仲有張台仔俾大家用喎。另外仲有唔同大細嘅2人間，呢一間咧就細啲啲嘅。嗱，呢一間咧就比較大啦。房間裏面咧一樣有燈同埋有叉電嘅，咁唔想俾其他人嘅鼻鼾聲嘈親的話咧，就可以考慮加錢 book 呢啲房啦。地下咧主要就係飯堂啦，今晚食晚飯咧都係喺呢度嘅。旁邊仲設置咗個室內嘅觀景台喎，因為根石岳山莊咧就正坐落喺山脊嘅懸崖邊上面啊，大家咧就咁喺室內咧都可以欣賞到咧外面嘅靚山景嘅，坐喺度嘆住杯啡或者啤酒就唔使喺出邊吹風，仲唔係5星級享受。而呢個方向咧啱啱向住西面嘅，可以睇到日落噶。我哋呢一日咧都睇到少少日落嘅雲彩啊！不過最正嘅咧就係呢間浸浴間啊！大家有冇想像過喺2500米嘅高山以上都可以浸浴啊？見唔見到啊？熱水啊！見唔見？嗱，今晚咧原來我哋咁樣掀開，咁咧掀開完之後，揼啲熱水出嚟，係啦，就可以沖涼啦。最緊要係呢個浴室咧，係望住咧呢個靚景沖涼噶，你又唔使擔心出邊有人睇到你喎。不過因為我自己怕醜啊，唔敢出一啲出浴照啊，就唯有犧牲我朋友色相，用佢張出浴照啦。哇！所以喺度都要俾翻個 credit 我朋友啊，行山都有呢啲享受，去邊度揾啊？佢就係阿卡莉啦，上一集都同大家見過面嘅啦。佢話咧呢度嘅水咧唔係溫泉水嚟嘅，係有一個 heater 喺出面熱住啲水咁樣啦。住客用呢個浴室咧就係免費嘅，咁唔使另外加錢㗎。但都有啲規矩要遵守嘅，就係咧每人只係得15分鐘嘅沖涼時間啫，而且水資源有限啊，每人咧只係得2盆熱水可以沖乾淨個身，先至可以入個池啊。仲要唔準用沐浴露啊、洗頭水啊，因為會污染環境啊嘛。冇問題啦，有得沖涼就已經好好啦。又老實講啊，山屋有得浸浴咧就唔止呢一間嘅。上一集路過咧嗰間天望莊，亦都有風呂啊。不過啱啱睇過佢個網頁咧，就話個浴池咧今季唔營業嘅。不過如果真係想浸高山嘅天然露天溫泉咧，咁大家就要去本澤溫泉啦。呢個咧係全日本最高嘅溫泉，有成2150米啊！嗱，喺上一集提過嘅下澤卡就有條路就過去啦。其實喺根石岳咧呢度附近咧，亦都有條路通過去嘅。今次我哋咧就冇去，但係咧如果大家打算去完根石岳，然後落山的話咧，其實可以考慮咧喺本澤溫泉嗰度切出嘅，可以順道浸下溫泉，鬆下對腳啊嘛。講得太遠添，翻嚟講山莊呢度啦。根石岳山莊分開咗2座建築嘅，我覺得唯一唔 好嘅咧，就係浴室啊、飯堂啊，就係喺接待處主樓呢邊啦。但係如果大家要去廁所的話咧，就要去隔離嗰座建築啊。咁啊，因為我住主樓呢一邊噶嘛，咁啊去親廁所咧，同埋刷牙洗面啊，都要過對面咧，咁就有啲唔方便啦。不過佢都有啲拖鞋啊，預備俾大家咧，可以就咁過，就唔使下下着翻對鞋嘅。呢度嘅伙食咧，都係要俾個讚嘅，因為山屋嘅伙食咧，我一般都唔太高期望噶啦，食飽就算啦。始終高山資源有限啊嘛。但係呢度嘅晚餐係咁嘅樣噶，係有個爐咧熱住塊豬扒俾你啦。嗱，仲有魚啊、野菜啊，呢度啲野菜咧係佢哋自己種噶，仲有自製嘅味噌醬喎。嗱，飯後仲有甜品食啊！呢一個唔係涼粉啊，係咖啡凍嚟噶。嗱，我哋喺度仲開咗支紅酒添。我哋而家咧身處長野縣啊嘛，日本古代咧長野就係叫信州嘅。咁啊，呢支紅酒咧就係信州出品啦。嗱，一場嚟到點都要開支地道紅酒捧下場啊！不過老實講啊，紅酒嘅嘢咧都係歐洲咧同埋南美出品嘅，好飲啲嘅。喺享用呢個咁豐富嘅晚餐之前呢，其實我哋一早咧都已經食咗下午茶啦。嗱，除咗咧例牌咧行完山之後會啤啤佢啦，呢度仲有一個 signature 嘅甜品必須要試嘅，嗱就係佢啦。齋睇啲賣相係咪已經好掂啊？好似啲 coffee shop 高檔靚甜品啊！講到味道啦喎，嗱睇下我朋友嘅表情。
我做唔到佢個樣，
我真係做唔到，真係太好氣。等下，
就諗到㗎啦。
呢一個係人哋自家製嘅藍莓甜品啊，上邊咧即係嗰啲藍莓啦，下面嗰啲係一啲牛奶嚟嘅，好香啊，好味啊！咁仲有除咗咧佢呢個特製嘅自家甜品之外啦，仲有呢一個好緊要，佢哋咧喺呢度白鵝自己釀嘅啤酒，仲要係 IPA 啤酒啊，好飲啊，好香啊！過去2日咧，我都嫌個早餐咧就太簡單啦。嗱，呢度嘅早餐咧就係我最滿意嘅一餐啦。咁嘅服務1拍2食價，睇翻佢哋網頁最新價錢啦，都係14,000至到15,000 yen 咋，抵到爛啦！呢度咁好服務，究竟佢哋啲資源係點樣運上嚟嘅呢？
In summer, once a month, we use helicopter to bring the vegetable and other fruits and other stuff in.
A month.
Yes. Yeah, in summer.
The helicopter land where?
Not around, just take off the.
Just outside.
Yes, outside.
Okay. No need to pick by people.
Yeah, but sometimes we need to bring some.
You need to bring.
Yeah.
Just like you bring up the vegetables.
Yeah, fresh vegetable
What is the peak season around to the people come here? Which month?
Maybe from June to August.
June to August. So for the September is not the high season.
Not the high season.
In summer it always rains.
Yeah. But many flowers bloom here around from June to August, so that season is popular.
Okay.
So many kinds of flowers you can see.
It's more beautiful here.
Yeah.
Okay. We are now here is September, so no flowers outside.
No, yeah.
Oh no.
Already finished.
Okay.
This year.
And how about winter? Does a lot of people come here in winter?
Yes, but not that much. Actually, in winter, only Friday and Saturday night we run this business.
Oh, Friday and Saturday night.
Yes.
And from Monday and Thursday, no.
Closed. In May, it's also Friday night and Saturday night. From June to November, every day.
Okay, from June to November, every day. June to November. 係啊，要 book 就醒目啦。So in summer, the highest temperature here is around
Maybe 20
20, 25 or 26? Is it?
Can I
Not too
check
hot.
it? Him? The max is 20. 20.
23,
No, 20.
20.
Maybe, yeah.
20.
Yeah. If you move the body, maybe you feel hot. But
Yeah. But when we cool down, it's
Yeah.
a little bit cool. Yeah. So it's summer though, okay, yeah.
we
Yeah.
in summer, we also use the
Do you have any tips for the people outside to walk around here? Do you have any recommendations for them to come?
I recommend the flower. Sorry, I said the
Dark
flower
flowers.
also.
Okay.
Yeah, flower is so beautiful. And also here you can see sunset and also sunrise
Okay.
outside. So it is very good.
好同意啊！呢度天氣好的話呢，睇日落同日出呢都係一流噶。嗱，呢個呢就係我哋第二朝呢5點鐘起身睇嘅日出啊！由住宿呢就行出去山脊呢，大概5分鐘左右呢就見到噶啦。嗱，雖然未算10級高清啊今日，但都非常靚啊，有呢個火燒嘅效果啊！大家如果夠腳力的話呢，仲可以上埋呢一個金石岳頂上面睇喎。其實唔止睇日出啊，因為金石岳咧係一個冇光害嘅地方啦，睇星都係一流噶。我哋呢晚咧咁啱個天咧就超級清啊，真係有滿天星嘅，仲可以影到銀河添喎。嗱，呢個我就咁用 iPhone 長曝光都已經影到咁嘅效果啦。本來我啊諗住介紹呢間山莊之後呢，接住落呢就會講第3日行北白岳嘅行程啦。不過睇一睇呢條片嘅時間，原來唔覺又已經超過10分鐘啦喎。而我再睇一睇第3日嘅行山片數量，都幾多下，冇理由浪費咗啲靚景噶嘛。咁啊，所以我決定呢，就再拆多一集出嚟呢，就專講呢嚟緊會行嘅北白岳嘅行程嘅。因為呢，第3日嘅景色呢，真係同前2日所睇嘅係非常唔同噶。因為呢度呢，好有原始森林 feel 嘅。嗱，仲有呢度都一樣有美食噶。俾住咁多大家睇先啊！想知道多啲的話咧，記住訂閱我呢個新開嘅頻道啦。嗱，如果大家覺得我呢條影片好嘅，幫到大家嘅，請 like、share 同埋留言支持啦。另外，大家如果想設計行山行程啊，都可以 email 俾我嘅，我就會將啲資料啊轉介俾我做旅行社嘅朋友啊，即係負責策劃呢次行山嗰位朋友嘅。好，下次見，拜拜。